From the ancient time, Bangladesh is an agricultural country. From the beginning, lots of crops, fruits and fishes produced in this land. For this reason, Bengali is known as fond of fish and rice. From the beginning, Bangladesh was known as abounding rivers and green field with fruitful trees and corns, where people lived in peace and happiness with all the prosperity. Ibn Battuta, an African tourist who visited Bangladesh in the year of 1346 and found Bangladesh as the most richest, most beautiful and most happiest country in the world. He also found Bangladesh calm and quiet and also environmentally sound. In course of time, some mills and factories built up in this land in 18th century. Basically, in Europe, America and part of Asia, lots of heavy industries were established rapidly. Huge number of chemicals, smokes, carbon emission from these mills and factories, harmful industrial wastage cause great loss of our natural environment. Taste of nuclear war weapons and also deadly war weapons in developed countries made our natural environment polluted. These developed countries also produce huge carbons, and these carbons also make our environment damaged. It produces negative impact on Bangladesh. Impact of climate change causes drought, no rainfall, heavy rainfall, heat wave, flood, thunderstorm, river erosion, cyclone, tide, waterlogging, saltiness of soil, landslide, increase the sea level of coastal area. All these made Bangladesh very vulnerable. Nowadays, cyclone, supercyclone, tidal in coastal belt in Bangladesh is very normal phenomenon. Supercyclone Sidor and Ayla is bearing a huge evidence of damaging the coastal area in Bangladesh. Millions of people were homeless and also so many people were died during these supercyclones. Waterlogging and saltiness of the soil reduce the productivity of the soil.
ওইখানে আমার বাড়ি ছিল বাবা আমার ভিটা মাটি সব নদীতে নিয়ে গেছে আমার আর কিছু নাই
Recently, unexpected floods in the eastern side in Bangladesh also proved the bad impact of climate change. Crops and cattle were washed away and thousands of people were homeless. Coastal areas are disappearing in the sea for rising of sea level height. Millions of people become homeless. According to World Health Organization, by 2050, almost 13 billion people will be homeless in Bangladesh due to the bad impact of climate change. Another report of United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, by 2050, 60% of coastal areas will be drowned and almost 1 billion people will be homeless in the world. Bangladesh is called the land of rivers, but because of bad impact of climate change, so many rivers are going to dry. Less rainfall making our rivers drying out. The climate specialists think that if this condition is continuing, most of the rivers of Bangladesh will be dry out and ultimately the country will turn into a desert.
বৈশ্বিক চরম ভাবাপূর্ণ জলবায়ুর প্রভাব থেকে বিশ্ব এবং বাংলাদেশকে বাঁচতে হলে আমাদের জাস্ট ট্রানজিশনের মাধ্যমে গ্রিন এবং ক্লিন এনার্জি ব্যবহারের দিকে আমাদের গুরুত্ব দিতে হবে এবং একই সঙ্গে সামাজিক অসমতা দারিদ্রতা এগুলোকে পরিহার করে সাস্টেইনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট গোলের আলোকে একটি সুখী সমৃদ্ধ বাংলাদেশকে গড়ে তুলব।
Food habit of coastal area people are also changing due to impact of climate change in Bangladesh. People of this area eat whatever they found for poverty. This made malnutrition of the people in coastal belt in Bangladesh a new great challenge. "40% of our population are children. Climate change also produces bad impact on our children. According to UNICEF report, due to heat wave and hot condition, many children suffer diarrhea, waterborne disease, malnutrition every year. It produces bad impact on our children's mental and physical health. Sometimes in disaster-prone area, many of the schools are destroyed by natural disaster, and for this reason, our children are deprived of education." Government of Bangladesh has taken various steps like adoption in order to rescue the country from possible fragile condition created by climate change. Different ministries and departments are working in a body to reduce the risk factors during and after the disaster. Integrated response, relief distribution along with sustainable action plan have been taken to reduce disaster risk. Necessary initiative has been taken to increase skill and technical knowledge of the people.
সরকারি বিভিন্ন কর্মকর্তা বা অফিস প্রধানরা ছিলেন, এখানে ছিলেন স্টেক হোল্ডাররা, মোটেলের মালিক বা তাদের ম্যানেজমেন্ট কর্তৃপক্ষ ছিল। এটার অন্যতম বিষয় হচ্ছে তাদেরকে আমরা সতর্ক করা বা জনসচেতনতা সৃষ্টি করা। বন অধিদপ্তর রয়েছে, জেলা প্রশাসন রয়েছে এবং ট্যুরিস্ট পুলিশ রয়েছে। এই সব কিছুর সমন্বয়ে আমরা কীভাবে দূষণ নিয়ন্ত্রণ করা যায়, জনসচেতনতা বৃদ্ধি করা যায় সে কার্যক্রম গ্রহণ করছি।
Bangladesh is playing a vital role all over the world to raise a climate change fund. Motivational program has been taken to prepare the people who are affected. Many feature, report, and awareness program have been published in our media. Environment journalism has been introduced in Bangladesh as a new sector to work on. National Institute of Mass Communication provide training for the journalists who are working with climate change impact and make them more efficient and skillful. Bangladesh is determined to implement sustainable development goal. In United Nations Assembly, our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urged the world leaders to follow all the trends mentioned in SDG in climate change to keep the earth sustainable for the future generation.
ক্লাইমেট ভালনারেবল ফোরামের সভাপতি থাকাকালে আমরা মুজিব ক্লাইমেট প্রসপারিটি প্ল্যান গ্রহণ করি, যার লক্ষ্য হল বাংলাদেশকে ঝুঁকির পথ থেকে জলবায়ু সহনশীলতা ও জলবায়ু সমৃদ্ধির টেকসই পথের দিকে নিয়ে যাওয়া।
Bangladesh believes that world leaders will immediately take action plans to make this earth a better place to live on for the future generation.